Agitavach, Agizintavach, on Parshas Chayesara, the Ben La'ashri brings on page Shin Nun Gimel a discussion from the Baal Shem Tov himself regarding the phenomenon, and this is a phenomenon we see in many cases in our times, that many young men or young women, in order for them to find their zivug hagon, they have to be read many shidduchim, or they have to go out many times. And why do we encounter this phenomenon? What is the meaning of it? And the Ben La'ashri quotes two sources in Sifrei Chasidus from the Baal Shem Tov. One is found in the Sefer Chayei Maharan, which is somewhat of a biography of the life of Reb Nachman of Breslov and Siman Taf Kuf Tzadihei, and the other is in the Sefer Baal Shem Tov Al HaTorah and Parshas Kiseitze. In the Sefer Chayei Maharan, it brings that when the Baal Shem Tov's first wife passed away, and he was in the Shadech with his second wife in the city of Brod, and then he came back to Breslov to his house, and the Baal Shem said, nobody really understands the inyan of shidduchim. He says that when he was involved in his second zivug with his second wife, many wagons came with many prospective shidduchim, and the Baal Shem said the truth is they were all his zivug. A person has many zivugim, but there are many bechinos, many dimensions of zivugim. Any time an individual is mentioned regarding a person, even if it never comes to fruition, on some dimension that is a zivug. Sometimes people discuss it further. Even the shadchanim discuss it. And they say, so-and-so is fit for so-and-so. And that's also maybe a higher level of zivug. And sometimes the shidduchim, the boy and the girl, they meet and it doesn't work out, and that's a higher level of zivug. And sometimes they even travel to meet each other, and they even have a certain agreement, and then in the end it falls through. That's even a higher level of zivug. And sometimes they even come to some type of formal arrangement, and sometimes it's even at a point of kiddushin, but it's never consummated. All of these various stations are considered a zivug and a shidduch on a certain level. The Baal Shem would say, "V'zeh hadavar hu inyan nifla v'noira." This is a wondrous matter. Shaloi nishma kazois, that we never heard of. Shahadibur ba'alma shemedabrim me'ashidduch, merely a discussion about a certain shidduch. Zeh ba'atzmai hu b'china shidduch. That itself is a certain dimension of a shidduch. And there are great secrets involved over here. This is what's brought in the Sefer Chayei Maharan. However, in the Sefer Baal Shem, on Parshas Kiseitze, on the pasuk Ki yikach ish isha, the Baal Shem reveals further that when they announce when a person is conceived, bas ploini leploini, at that point in time, many false shidduchim clamor to be the designated shidduch of such and such person, and the only way, so to speak, for a person to rid themselves and not have to come to conclusion and fruition with these shidduchim, shikarim, the only way to pater yourself from them is if some type of discussion or meeting takes place in this world. So, sometimes merely a discussion of the shadchanim, that so-and-so is fit for so-and-so, that's one way to rid yourself, so to speak, from these false shidduchim. And sometimes you need to actually meet the person to, so to speak, pater yourself from having this false shidduch before you could get to the real shidduch. And then sometimes there's even an arrangement or some kind of agreement that is needed to whatever level, small or large, in order to rid yourself from that shidduch until you're zeicha to the zivug ho'amiti. But the phenomenon of having to, so to speak, go out, sometimes numerous times with many people, there is a mystical and Kabbalistic reason for this. And although it's not our practice to delve into the mystical, but sometimes when people are in the parsha of shidduchim, they have a certain burnout. They just say, I can't go out again, or I don't want to speak to that shadchan, or I can't go through this. It's probably not going to work. It's a waste of time. So it might be worthwhile to say, a certain number of people need to be discussed and a certain number of people need to be met, and even if it doesn't come to fruition, a person shouldn't get frustrated. Person should rather say that a certain amount of time has to be invested, a certain amount of shadchanim have to be spoken to, a certain amount of people have to be met, and instead of, so to speak, getting frustrated and say it's a waste of time, it's not a waste of time. This is what the hashgacha requires you to, so to speak, rid yourself from having to deal with shidduchim shikarim, and then be'ezus Hashem, we pray that Hashem should send easily to all those awaiting their zivug hagan b'karov mamish bracha v'hatzlacha.